I'm sorry to dwell on Joe, but quite frankly, he wasn't covered honestly by the dominant media. We know that. He got away with so much, and he's holding his head high, trying to at least, and coming out with a book. I don't like that. I don't like that when I see President Trump behaving like a commander-in-chief, like a leader with empathy, with compassion. And I know what we just went through as a country. It's really wild to see. I'm just so glad we have true leadership again. Okay, and we have true leadership in the middle of a conflict, even a war.
The Pentagon is currently weighing whether or not to send ground troops, boots on the ground, for a takeover of Karg Island.
That means boots on the ground. A full invasion, a full plan is sea, air, land, and everything in between.
It means that there might need to be some boots on the ground in some capacity, but although Trump is saying that that's not the case, at least in this moment.
This idea about boots on the ground. Lots of administration officials said, no, there's no reason to talk about that. The president said he doesn't have yips about boots on the ground.
Okay, boots on the ground, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. You know, when I was in the military, we didn't have this phrase. We just wore our boots and we walked on the ground. This wasn't a phrase, but now it is. And it's like, you can't put boots on the ground. Oh, my goodness gracious. If you put boots on the ground, everything is going to go wrong. It's kind of, quite frankly, a legacy of Iraq. That war was so bad. America kind of institutionally is gun shy about putting boots on the ground. I want to point out that essentially every president for the last 70, 80 years made a major commitment of boots on the ground. I'm not saying it wasn't necessary. I think we skipped Truman, by the way. That's okay. There he is. Boots on the ground. Korean War, World War II, Vietnam, and then it gets a little messier, perhaps a little more questionable. But boots on the ground, every single president since FDR, all the way through, of course, Carter and the botched rescue mission in Iran. Reagan sent the Marines into Lebanon and Grenada. George H.W. Bush, Panama, and also Gulf War I. Bill Clinton, remember Bosnia? I could not figure out how that worked. And of course, George W. Bush, boots on the ground in Afghanistan and Iraq. And Obama. Now, we put an asterisk next to him because he inherited that war, right? Same goes for Joe Biden, but they were making troop deployments, right? These presidents were making decisions and ordering troops. But there's an exception to this. Donald Trump, in his second term, has not made a major deployment of U.S. troops on the ground. No new boots on the ground, unless you want to count Venezuela, and they were there for what, 45 minutes? That doesn't count. No major commitment of U.S. ground forces.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.